In this tutorial, we shall respond to an AJAX request that is coming from the client side. This request is sent by the user when he clicks his vote button. If you see the previous tutorial, we saw that this is a fetch request that comes from the HTML home page. This fetch request, it brings the choice, student ID and student password in 3 query string variables. So now we have to respond to this request. And before that, let's review what we have done in our previous tutorial. In the just previous tutorial, we wrote this code for sending a file to the customer to the client side, and this home page was sent through a code like this, where we converted raw URL into the file to send and tested if the file to send is empty, then send assets by index page. So this is what we did the last time. And now it is time to make a check for the query string variables and send another response. This response that you are seeing was for the home page. But we have to also test if 3 query string variables are coming from the client side. For this, you can see that we have an else block here. This else block is matched by this if block that checks the request if the request contains 3 query string variables. So if the request brings 3 query string variables, then this will be the response. Otherwise the home page will be sent or other files will be sent, whatever are asked by the customer side. So this differentiation we have done it. It's just temporary. It's just like, I would say, not temporary, it's just ad hoc. For this purpose, no standards. You can just wire a simple code. That is exactly what I have done. So let's just examine the flow. First of all, we extract the data, and after this we are creating a user OK variable to verify that the user ID and password or other validations are OK. For example, I have used a simple if block. If student is null, this is null, this is null, user OK is false. But you will have to obviously add your own code for more validations from the database side, so that you can do it at your own level depending on the project that you are handling. And if the user is verified OK, as you are seeing here, if he is verified OK, then the votes dictionary corresponding to the student ID, this is the key, it receives the new value, and the boolean flag, this is dirty, is marked as marked as true, so that this choice now, which is in modified state, will get synchronized to the database when we do that synchronization. And in case you find this syntax a bit difficult, for example, this one is difficult for you, this is a tuple. You will have to go through the chapter on tuples. And about this exclamation sign, this is called null forgiving operator. It is a feature of C#8. You will also have to go through this feature, but in rough, this means that this variable student ID, we are dead sure that this can't be null. So this is a null forgiving operator. If we do not write this, then a warning is given by the compiler. So that's all about this. And now let's proceed further. Now what we have to do is, we have to send a response to the caller in this form that I am drawing here. We have to give a JSON of this form where a vote choice and the number of votes polled, or maybe percentage polled, B 75% or C whatever percent or D whatever percent. We have to give this statistics to the caller in the form of a JSON string. For this, what we do is, we do a grouping on the choice. This is choice, this is choice. We do a grouping on the choice and make a vote count. This is the count of votes that we are grouping on, and after this you can see that we have created status OK to tell that the response is OK. This is a votes property JSON property, that is an array, and a for each loop on the group. It says choice and percentage. So that part is hidden, I can show also. So a percentage has been calculated and put into a variable called %, and this is a choice, and this is an array, and this last comma is removed because this comma will be appended. This comma is being continuously appended for the array, and we are also displaying this message to the console so that we have some sort of a log. And here this is closed, the brackets are closed, the JSON is closed. The JSON is closed, and the response string, it has been created. And what this else is, this is if the validation fails, the user is not found okay. In that case, the JSON response is status failed. And here we are getting the bytes, setting the content type as text/JSON, content length, and writing it to the output stream that you are seeing here. And in the else part, as I already told you, we are sending the home page. So this is what you can go through. I have attached the source code, and now it's time to run the application. Build the app and come to the debug directory. Place the assets folder here. This assets folder is the index file and the image. This should be there because if you are running this project on your own computer and this will be missing, this has to be added yourself. So after this is the voting application. I will right click it and right click it to run it. So we'll right click it and run it as administrator. And if everything goes right, your messages should appear here that we are listening on this port. And after this we will open our browser, and when we open the browser you can see that our home page is opened and a log has also started appearing in the console side by side. And we will now put this option and we will type anything for the, I am scribbling anything for the user ID and user password, and click on vote. You can see that B 100% is the voting trend. So if I refresh it and add another vote from some other user, this percentage is shown, and similarly I can make more entries. You can test it yourself also. So this is how we have verified that it is working correctly. This is the source code I will attach. So this is how it is working. Thank you.